Good goedemiddag. Huh? And you. I have I have I have a cap that I bought from a supermarket, not from a shop, but from a supermarket. It was €1 each, $1. $1 is some kind of synthetic plastic. And one time I bought this one. I go I go in the midday sun. A year ago or so, 2 years ago, when I bought it, 2 years ago or so, I go in the midday sun and I walk because it's chemical. I think it gets my skull or whatever, man. The headache I had, it's unbelievable headache that I get from this fucking shit. I don't know why. Some kind of synthetic. And I bought them for 4 of them. I bought them for €4. And don't hang around me. Have a good day. አንድና ሀብታሙ ጎሻ በአይነት ውድ ነገርን ባናገኝ ክላሳችን ባይፈቅድልንም እንዲህ አይነት ነገር አናጣም። anyway ማለት ነው። anyway እንደዚች አይነት የጉራጌ ሹራብ ምናምን አናጣም ለማለት እኔ ከሀብት ይልቅ ድህነት እኮ ያስመካል። አንዳንዴ ድህነት አያያዙን ከቻለ all these young G's are there playing with our heads and shit. Anyway, where to start? Yeah. እነዚህ የመንግስት አለቀላቂዎች ማለት ነው። በደርግ ጊዜ ደርግ የነበሩ፣ በቲፒኤልኤፍ ጊዜ ግማሾቹ ደርግ የጮሁ በእስር ቤት በኩል በየትኛውም በኤርፖርት በበረሃ ስለሚያስቸግር በእስር ቤት በኩል አሜሪካና አውሮፓ ቢዝነሱን የነቁ ሰዎች፣ ጋዜጣ ዟሪዎች እና አንዳንዶቹ ደግሞ በደርግ ጊዜ ደርግ፣ በቲፒኤልኤፍ ጊዜ ቲፒኤልኤፍ፣ አሁን ደግሞ ተቃዋሚ ናቸው። አዱም ምን እንደሆኑ ብቻ ካራክተራቸው እና አይ ሪሜምበር ዩቲዩብ ላይ ሲጫጫው በፊት ሲተነትኑ እንዴት ነገሮችን እንዴት ማየት ስላለብን ለኛ ሲነግሩን ማለት ነው። ትዝ ይለኛል when ቴድሮስ አድሃኖም የተመረጠ ጊዜ ማለት ነው። ለመመረጥ ሲያሽኮበኩ አቤት የተዘለፍኩት ዘለፋ በስማ። አሁን ደኒ ቆንጆ ስድብ፣ ጸያፍ ስድብ የሚሰድብ ሰው የለም። ግን ደንቆሮች ናቸው እንደዛ አይነት ስድብ የሚሰድቡት። እንደኛ አይነት ለሰው ግን በእነዚህ ደንቆሮች እንደው ማለት አይሆን ያይዝግንና ለስለስ ያለ ስድብም ቢሆን ይዝግንና። ምክንያቱም ደንቆሮ ተንጠራርቶ ሲሳደብ ነው የምታየው። እሺ አልኩ። ከዛ ባለፈው ፈረንጅ አይቀር አረብ አይቀር ነጭ አይቀር ያላኩብኝ ሰው የለም። the presidential election of between Donald Trump and Donald J. Trump and Joe Biden. Imagine these people who are Afro Ethiopian Americans who tell Americans that they have concern about their birthplace, but at the same time they have a life and a political attitude within America as to who become a president, and they have attitude who to support and who not to support. when they even know, it just don't really make sense about supporting a Democrat or a Republican of this guy or that guy. It's as if, imagine now the talk after Joe Biden come up and tell them, you get the fuck out from here. He go, literally, Joe Biden go to Ethiopia and tell people where to be, what to do, and all. Some of it, I'm supportive for what America say. This killer sons of bitches has to stop killing people, kind of thing. But I don't think they come up with this story. The American people come up with this story for a reason. What Tedros a guy kind of people, the TPLF supporters, or this kind of my tribe, my ethnicity, my clan affiliation kind of people, or his opponents. No, that's not the reason. The reason is simple. You have to see this. If something is powerful, like America is the most powerful country, they say, not really proven that they are powerful, there is war and they defeated that. It's not that. Just in the Second World War, they didn't entirely win the war, but America contributed a lot because America has to travel so far and organize other countries, what they call allies. They were devastated though, but America have the upper hand. You have to run around Holland, Belgium, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, in all these places to cap up on Germany. Plus the Great Britain, the island, belongs to America against that fight. So after the Second World War, really, except propaganda, America is not proven to be called the most powerful nation in the world. And that itself, there are, the fact that you should people, all people who understand not perfect English, but this kind of English of mine, why they should subscribe to me and make me some kind of radio host is because I bring stories which other people don't want to break down. I touch issues that people people don't discuss. They don't really touch things that are not spoken. That there is some kind of generalized kind of story people accept. And I want to give people, I can invite any intellectual who say I'm intellectual. I want this place, this house, to be a studio, without bias, without some powerful thing give you an issue. I want this table to be that, this dining table. It's a restaurant table that I bought for $100. You see this one? It's actually for restaurants. I want this table to be a radio place, and I'll be merciless in breaking down what kind of generalized stories we accept to be true. Like when we say America is the most powerful nation, a lot of things can be said, but if it's about confrontation, I'm not against America. I'm not supportive of any kind of place because it's not my concern. But knowledge, to really know the truth, is very important. Like there is this generalized kind of story. America is the most powerful nation. Tried in which kind of war with who? When? The last time we saw is in the Second World War, when they should fight Germany and Japan. And Italy is just a little scum fucking around because Italy was not a country then. People don't know Italy was one of the poorest countries in Europe, Italy then. And not organized. That's why they killed Mussolini even. They were divided, fucked up kind of people. But okay. And then Japan. What I know is Japan. They hit Pearl Harbor. Japanese hit Pearl Harbor is no conspiracy. America didn't start it, they started. Then what America did, the whole world knows. They blew out Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I feel it, something exploded in my head. Boom, boom, big heat. There's a big white man sitting in that jet. Still there is a picture. Flash on his eyes. Now, after that, humanity come up with some kind of term and agreements and things of that say about war. But then in the future, if there is war to be fought in this world with powerful kind of representation, what we call nation, this kind of agreement is going to stop us for not doing what we're going to do in the future to each other. Any intellectual mind, any sensible mind believe in the way how the world is preparing to protect itself, in how much destructive things the world have. Russia, China, America, Europe, Israel, Pakistan, India, you name them. Is that the truth? No. So if you are not a biased intellectual, you have to navigate through the truth, but not base your truth on the things they say we write. This kind of agreements between countries, this United Nations kind of thing, League of Nations kind of thing, this agreement, that agreement, treaty, this treaty, that treaty. No. This is how I dissect. I want people to understand what is reality than what people talk. Yeah. Now, okay, a lot of people ask America, when you blow up Hiroshima and Nagasaki, is America tried as a war criminal in a world war crime justice kind of thing? Was America till this day, I don't know even if Japan I don't know, I'm not Japanese and I don't really know this story, but I don't think even they have some kind of real legitimate thing, except they say sorry last time or whatever, because it's a modern time. But imagine what kind of measure they did. I mean, America was not really weakened that Japan is going to beat them. And they didn't come to California or Gulf of Mexico or New York or on the West Coast, They didn't come in the West Coast with Russia, that kind of border. They didn't show up there. They are too far. They were fighting in the island, in the islands, in the islands, where Barack Obama was born, in that fucking place, Hawaii or Iwo Jima, or all this. And most of it was fought around the Asia Pacific and stuff, because America had already naval fleet that travels far. But when America went to silence that war, they were so infuriated. What they've done was a big bang. Imagine a third world fucking ugly, coming out on 360 television like Tedros Sagai last night discussing with Haptamu, both of them laughing, as if people are retarded to think like if somebody is evil, you have to give it evil back. You have to give them back what they give you, kind of an eye to an eye kind of a thing. The people who think an eye for an eye justice, I don't know how retarded they are, kind of smart as mockery, It's like when you approach the Nazis, like in the Second World War, if there is any kind of force, not the scums like Abiy Ahmed, but justice for Ethiopia starts with this. It's like, imagine you have this normal narrative of the Second World War, yeah, the Second World War, when Americans and Allied forces, Russia, I mean the entire world against Germany, because in that time frame, Germany was considered that like a bad kid. Imagine then the Nuremberg trial is actually a crime. You know, it's like what Joe Biden is, Joe Biden rectum is saying, oh, sorry, otherwise they're gonna hit me with the sound system. 3 days I have headache now. I have to talk normal. According to Joe Biden, you know, according to Joe Biden, the Nuremberg trial just didn't show up as a trial. No, first they have to defeat Germans, and when they do Germans, when they fight with Germans, it's like the entire world was fighting Germany. And then we have to think like that was wrong. We have to think like, no, Germany is by itself and Russia is attacking it. Not thinking like the Germans go to Russia, into Moscow to destroy Russians and take over their country. By now they speak German and they're second-class citizen kind of thing, you can imagine, okay. And Jewish people never had their story told. Even you wouldn't be in a position that people telling about Holocaust, because and then Holocaust was not wrong by now. And I can imagine what black people could be, kind of thing. That is what it is. Imagine when Joe Biden, I'll come to what they see, how they see Ethiopia. I'm not supportive of atrocities, and I don't think revenge is not a word that we have to use for a chaotic political elite in what they cause a country, what kind of burden they could be for a country and for the future, for its children. That's my way of looking at things. Then imagine in the Second World War, thinking the so-called Allied forces. Russia was not an ally, just they were protecting themselves, but they get close to what is called the Allied forces. And even there is controversy in Poland, because the Polish, they don't want both the West then and Russia. Especially still, there is a sentiment like Russians invade Poland kind of narrative, especially supported by the West. You know, there is that kind of narrative about Second World War stories. You know, so imagine now Discovery Channel telling the world, actually in the Second World War, what has been done to Germany was evil, because Germany was fighting the whole fucking world, including some African countries, especially Arab countries, and West African people come in the support of the Allied countries like French and British, in their support to attack one European country. But is that a normal thing, what the whole world is preached by Discovery Channel and all intellectuals in the world? No. It is good over evil. The is the one that have an ambition to impose its thing over other people in the entire world. We're not talking about some tribal stories or ethnic stories within a country. We are talking about a sovereign nation called Germany building muscle and having some kind of attitude, going out, crushing nations, countries we're talking about. Imagine now Joe Biden. Imagine Joe Biden was some kind of Roosevelt or something, telling us, actually, the way we fight Germany was unfair. Because the entire fucking monkey-ass world was fighting these people. Is that a normal narrative? So, fighting them back, fighting the Nazis back, because they already tried to travel to Moscow, they want to go to London, they want to go to Belgium, they come and they bomb Rotterdam in Holland, their own kind of family, their cousins. I mean, they were everywhere, but For them, they were doing it right. They were in Greece, they were in Italy, they were everywhere. America is a little bit far. When they do that, they commit atrocities. Russians know what Germans did to Russians. West Europeans know what Germany was then. But when Germany started to be defeated, when this Allied force kind of thing formed, when Russia's retaliate, when the Germans start to retaliate from the Red Army kind of thing, when they get offensive, then do you think that offensive by Russia, that offensive by allied countries, Western European countries, was painting them with better and treating them nice? No, I don't think so. Neither the Germans, when they do their thing, were nice people, or the retaliation, or when the Allied forces in Russia and in the whole world, when it comes to hunt the Nazis, what way they call the Nazis, the Germans, I call them Germans because it was the entire Germany that stand for that. The entire Germany stand for that. So you're literally saying Germans were Nazis. Then, not now. Yeah? Then you are telling me, actually, by the time when the Germans did the offensive, then it's a crime. In Joe Biden's eyes, that is a crime. So the Nuremberg trial is the most despicable thing in human history. That's what it is. For any Ethiopian intellectual, I don't care what kind of intellectual you are, according to the way that he see reconciliation to save Abiy Ahmed in the TPLF. Because Joe Biden in Ethiopia, what he's trying to do is to save both Abiy Ahmed, who is in power, and all, filthy kind of political characters in Ethiopia that are ethnocentric kind of people that is created by TPLF. He wants to save this. He wants the political reality to be just this, the old 30, 40, 50 years old kind of political group to negotiate and to be in power forever in Ethiopia. And beyond reasonable doubt, it shows that 50 years of Ethiopia reality is primarily designed by America and the CIA. This is just more than clear. I mean, imagine a president of the United States, the so-called most powerful nation in the world, coming out and propose the goodwill of the evil people themselves who already destroyed the nation. But these people, if America have a good intention for Ethiopia, they could create a political way, to create new political groups, fresh kind of from the new generation, and to really, like they put a travel on all of them, including the TPLF. And when they say that, not by being vague, not by being really straightforward, like this political group was a terrorist group. It destroyed the country. It was already empowering the country, and people had it. And the people who are governing now, the Abiy Ahmeds that we give a Nobel Peace Prize, these kind of people are not new. They used to work for them. No, Ethiopians should be given a new chance in this political system that's already been tried and lied in ethnocentric Oromo kind of groups, lie for their own political agenda. And if Joe Biden helped these people again to revive and to come in power, and then it is with a full knowledge that the country will disintegrate and will be at war forever. Even now is better than what is America proposing. That's what is what is the real meaning of what America is doing now. You see, people given a second chance to destroy a country rather than to be followed by justice for so much pain they cause to people. It don't matter if people die because they are military men who protect their country. If they are ambushed by a force in a country, this is a treason. This is a treason in America. In America, you cannot attack American military while you are being some kind of federal state within America. I mean, this is not tolerable. This is insane. This is fucking insane. You know, and this is the same military that America helped build to fight even the ISIS, because TPLF was on top. And Americans are not children who are being preached about what Ethiopia is, because they were saying we are fighting against terrorism called Al-Shabaab kind of story. And they were sending American people to train snipe shooters, Ethiopian snipe shooters. Top military men were training them snipe shooting. This is the military who get ambushed by the TPLF and they think is normal. No, it's not true. So if Joe Biden was in that time in the Second World War, the Nuremberg trial, when the senior Nazi members were tried, is a crime. Is a crime to try them, because then we have to think like that thing was a revenge. Countries to come out from the Nazi heavy arm, like Poland, like Russia, like West Europe, England, they were wrong. They have to stop. By the time they reach Germany, they have to stop. Not get in Germany and bomb Germany, not pepper bomb Berlin. They shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have done that. But what they've done, and they have 20 years of Discovery Channel program, what they have done is that will never happen, kind of the biggest war propaganda machine in the whole wide world. Discovery Channel, National Geographic, a lot of television channels, intellectuals, educators, outspoken intellectual people, everybody. I mean, it's a household name. Second World War story is a household name for every fucking TV channel and shit. The Nuremberg trial. When we know America even smuggled extremely intelligent Germans for corporate America. Okay, let's forget. They will tell you false news, conspiracy. I mean, we know what we know. We know who make rocket engines for America. You know, we know everything. But let's not go deep to that. Just let's talk about Nuremberg trial and how the Allied forces come in Germany and how the war was fought. This was a war between two political kind of things, and even sovereign nations who are just at battle. And nobody count how many Russians are dead, how many West European people are dead. Even when they retaliate, then how many Germans are dead is not considered like a war crime or whatever. How many women are even raped? I can imagine how many European women now alive, all old women, they sit with a memory of rape. I know for sure. So actually, America, then, not to be seen as a good people who liberated countries who are weak, who find themselves in the weakest link because Germany was too powerful in marching on them, is not to be demonized. No, it should be not demonized, because then when you hit them back, they are the weakest ones. So it should be considered as a revenge. That's what you are telling us. What the Ethiopian government, which I'm not supportive of, because they are just formed by TPLF themselves and they have a power struggle, and America should find a way to get rid of both of this elite, but not create a situation where the TPLF kind of group will revive and and then destroy Ethiopian people, demoralize Ethiopian society. What you are actually doing is demoralize Ethiopian society. Like, there will never be any political elite except this kind of group that is formed by you in the Cold War to govern a country. This is demoralizing the entire nation. There is no cruel crime to a nation or to any kind of people you do than to revive people who have a reputation of genociding their own people. And TPLF is one of them, the major one of crisis creators. And what kind of scumbag country is that? Do really American people know what their country is? And what kind of people they support, and what kind of political thing they do in other parts of the world? I am here just to create awareness in what it is. Imagine Americans believing that all the sacrifice they pay in the Second World War was a crime. Do American people live with that kind of thing? All the American veterans who know European soil, who lost their fucking, friends and all these cemeteries in Europe, American cemeteries that Americans are proud about, their history, that they freed people, they liberated Western European countries from a heavy arm of the Nazi regime, was a crime. Do Americans live with that? Do Americans live with that? Would it be that America will tolerate something that hits its army within the country? Would that be normal? It don't matter how it started. It don't matter. Both of them are diseased kind of political things that they should be banned from Ethiopian politics. And America should create a situation for other political things to form, and instead of weakening those things who are coming out as new political groups. I think that is the most fucked up thing. Especially America should help those political parties, those political entities who are forming within Ethiopia with the intention of the same ethnic politics kind of thing, creating friction and genocide within a country. But the reverse is true. America is supporting fresh kind of political system that are extremely ethnocentric and trying to keep the old scumbags like the new forms political party in Ethiopia and TPLF. Serial criminals. No country, no people can tolerate. After they cause a lot of damage. Actually, you can accuse them with the same count for what happened in the country. If you despise, like if you condemn rape, mass killing, executing people wherever without putting them on trial, or any kind of thing that you accuse them for, these are the political groups and people that you have to really follow with international court system. Not only travel ban, but these are the people, because so much things happen. You already say there is rape, there is killing, not implying a certain kind of place to revive some kind of political group who is supported by Tedros Adhanom, the same TPLF. No, we know there are lobbyists, Van Batten kind of lobbyists and all. But if a country is approached by some kind of lobbyist group and lobby firm just to imply some kind of extremely exaggerated atrocity of a certain thing, it becomes obvious. It must be obvious for American people that America not only do follow fucked up thing within America, but it also transports its disease together with some taxpayers' money. It transports its disease far away across the Atlantic. I want American people to understand what their leaders are doing, how unfair they are, how they're killing the spirit of millions of people outside of America, even hurting people who have the love for American people, the way of life. Even especially those people, you are killing their spirit because they happen to be some kind of African people kind of thing. That's how I understand. It just literally thinking the Nuremberg trial is the most criminal thing the world have ever done to the Germans, to the Nazis. That's how I have to understand it. You know, that's how I have to understand it. If you know really what TPLF was and why it is taken from power in the first place, but Ethiopia was not lucky. It was toppled by the same kind of political group that it forms, it elects, because they were anti-intellectuals, anti anything that was prior to their, prior to where they were in power. That's what is America saying. Because it is crazy for people in the whole world to think like the Nuremberg trial is the most unjust kind of thing ever done in human history. Is there anybody in this world who believe that? Leave alone the Hiroshima and Nagasaki story if we talk about atrocity. Okay, because there was that kind of mistake we've done. If Americans truly believe that was a mistake, because Japanese killed a lot of American soldiers, and we know the grievance. We know, what caused what kind of emotion, what kind of superior feeling, what kind of, you want to be free from some kind of people who you think are powerful and mean, that they become pain in the ass kind of people. I mean, those two bombs who explode in Hiroshima and Nagasaki tell me a story. I mean, I remember that old B-52 bomber or something, and this white man, he had a lot of interview, the one who threw the bombs on Japan, I thought those were historical moments that makes countries to come together to have a fair world. And now you are telling Ethiopian people who lost their husbands, their children, who lost everything they are because of the behavior of TPLF, because West Europeans and America support this specific group, except vaguely you say travel ban including on them, it gives a very negative connotation to it. There is a really inferiority kind of a lot of people. And I have to tell it to you, as much I wanted all of them to be taken serious and to be even not a travel ban, really to be taken serious that these people are criminals. Such kind of DNA, such kind of individuals will not be in a political scene in any country, even though you hate the country. Even to the point that you hate that country, you don't allow such kind of people to be on power. And that includes Abiy Ahmed, in my belief. But before Abiy Ahmed comes TPLF, because Abiy Ahmed is only 15 years old when these people, take their chances using Cold War and some kind of socialist, communist kind of thug. He killed the country, I believe, for all that. But in general, TPLF is the most monstrous political group that destroy East Africa. I believe that. Not even Isaias Afwerki, to be honest. Isaias Afwerki may not be nice to Eritrean people. Not even for all Eritrean people, because Eritreans are divided in this kind of. He's one of this figure it comes to in their mind when it comes to this so-called what they call freedom, that they celebrate yesterday or the day before, the 13th year or anniversary of freedom from Ethiopia, from colonizers. God knows if that definition is right, but that's what it is. You see? But America don't know that. Susan Rice don't know that. I doubt. So to me, it's like the Nuremberg trial and the American and Allied forces, what they have done, what they have done when they when they retaliate, when they try to fight with the Germans. Every German they kill is a crime, because Germans were in Europe. The Germans were in fucking Europe. America is America. You see? So actually, Germany was right when it comes to Holland, in bomb Rotterdam, when Germany go to anywhere else in Europe, and they try to go to England, was normal. It was normal. So fighting them back is not normal. Fighting them back was wrong. You see? Because in fighting, there is a lot of atrocities. People get on fire, you know. In the Second World War, America, Hollywood make a lot of movies and how it could be. You know, how civilians can get caught in a fire, and, you know, there is a rape case. All these old women, European women you see playing casino and shit, driving these small cars, 50% of them been raped. Sorry, they are grandmas for precious people, European people. So don't let me talk things. You know, it's fucked up. So Germany should be compensated for what is done to Germany. If TPLF and their sympathizers, you know, 6 months ago playing heroic and bullying people and showing off, when they get defeated, that the one who defeat them should be given compensation for the aggressor should compensate. Actually, in this conventional kind of war, when the aggressor become defeated, it should compensate. Germany was a lot of thing by Nuremberg trial was imposed on Germany. Even not to have a nuclear weapon, a lot of things was imposed on Germany in the Second World War after Nuremberg trial. That was the normal thing when we know when some kind of aggressor who are ruling the country with iron fist for 27 years and then shoot missiles in one sovereign country called Eritrea and in 2 big capital cities on Amhara region. In 27 years, they make atrocities within Ethiopia, especially affected the livelihood of Amhara people. They make Amhara people to be scapegoats in every corner in Ethiopia, creating a political narrative that they should be hunted by every kind of group. When you try to revive this kind of group because of Tedros Adhanom, I think the world have to look back to history and condemn the Nuremberg trial. The world community should condemn the Nuremberg trial because Germany, and then we have to think like Germany was done wrong. Intelligent people, brave people, not beggars, not silly beggars who have only the emotion of I kill you, and when you caught them, when you fuck them up, they play silly, like TPLF and their sympathizers in Tigray. Actually, I believe all Tigrayans are TPLF, but there are so-called Ethiopian propaganda makers, just to be politically correct. No, TPLF is not Tigray. No, according to me, all TPLF, Tigray is TPLF. All of them, women, children, young and old. Is there DNA to be TPLF? I don't think so. But they take 30 years to convince Tigrayans this is their children party. And what you saw yesterday is not because Tigrayans believe there is atrocities like Tigrayan activists say. After the atrocities, Tigrayans become sympathizers of TPLF. That is a wrong narrative. Just to get what they want. Like the Tedros guys from Rio Radio, his propaganda. Inherently, truly, inside, he knows from the very beginning, starting from the the Cold War time, Tigrayans, all of them sympathizers are TPLF. Politically right, wrong, I don't give a fuck. And this wound will never heal if America sanction is specific to all these groups and taking all of them seriously, all the players seriously. I am for the sanction if it don't really paralyze the country as a country in how it relates, and because I know it's vital for that country to have new kind of people. There are a lot of educated people who are, deprived not to take part in the political process. Rather, America put extremely ethnocentric form, worse than what we saw as a plan B. And that is America's proposal, that the old criminals and the newly formed extreme criminals to come on the table and form some kind of theoretical bullshit. But I know the truth. The truth is, America should devise a mechanism with intelligence actually to destroy the new extreme ethnocentric form, because it has nothing to do with Oromo people or Amara people, plus those people who are account for all atrocities that you see in these 40, 50 years. And that was what I was telling all Ethiopian people around the world. By the time this Abiy Ahmed come out and tell them it is a time of mercy, a time of peace, a time of love, I know he's just word pouring and jerking on his mouth, jerking off his mouth. Because any country without justice, without the right thing, the right justice, there is no country that will form. But if America say, no, reconciliation, criminals have to reconcile to lead the country they already bleed, then you don't have to oppose Abiy Ahmed, because Abiy Ahmed slogan, this scumbag slogan, was the moment he come was reconciliation. Yes, we are wrong, we are criminals, but give us a second chance. That was his famous speech. And he's not just some guy, he is the prime minister of the country. The moment he show up, this is the intention, this is the speech, that the people were surrendered with some kind of love, kind of nirvana, some kind of mass hypnosis. That was the thing that I was opposing in the first place. Who is he? Who is he? I was insulting this man. Who the fuck is he to say sorry on behalf of dead people, on behalf of people who are being run for 30 years? 30 years, you can have an adult human being born and grow and be someone. Imagine there are people who are taking the livelihood. Even the disputed small place called Welkite between Amhara region and Tigray region is a crime site. And you include that this crime site is part of Tigray. But this is the biggest humanitarian crisis that took 30 years to be performed. Imagine what 30 years, 27 years could do to destroy such kind of communities. Most of them are in exile in America. Most of them live their livelihood, cattle, their farmland. They lost everything because they were Amharas. They were forced not even to wear their cultural clothes. And then if they wear their cultural clothes and they speak Amhara, then they are not part of that community. So they have their cultural clothes in the closet, so that they could say this is a Tigrayan region and this clothes belongs to Tigrayan culture. I mean, if you hear the atrocity in these 27 years, what this Tigrayan TPLF elite were doing in that region, the atrocity is just, it amounts to, I mean, this is not normal. You cannot do this in modern era. Otherwise, you have to come out, America have to come out and say to Germany, sorry for the Nuremberg trial. At least most Ku Klux Klan kind of empathizers of this white superiority, they already say that a long time ago. That's why they elected Donald Trump. When these Ethiopians elected you, Joe Biden, I really fucking hate your face. I don't even like your face, my brother. I think, I mean, both of you are ugly, but I like Donald Trump than you. I think at least when he was young, he was a little bit cute. I fucking even hate your face. I'm not a diplomat, I'm not negotiating, but I'm telling you the truth. Not only because you are a Democrat scumbag who preach the word about equality because people fall for you, because you show them rainbow flags and gender stories, all these kind of sugar-coated stories because you constitute that. That's why people hate the Republican kind of thing about abortion, about same-sex marriage, blah, blah. You have this kind of group in you, a fascist group, subvertly have this kind of issues to hold the community and do the dirty job. The American dirty job, I think, is performed by this Democratic Party. And I told these cowards, living in America, you may be a doctor, you may be a teacher. I mean, you have something to do as a person to live your life. So leave alone White House and you can leave. No, these Ethiopian people are despicable. They are cursed people. Rather, they try to demean me. They try to make me feel like I know nothing. And now they were shouting, we were wrong. Always their story is show up, represent, control the media, talk whatever they want to talk because they are retards. When I told them, I'm not really a big fan of Donald Trump or whatever, but Donald Trump, to me, it's not like what they say, a 14-year-old, IQ, what they listen from the CNN kind of, Jewish cabal. No, I don't see the word black and white. I know what I know. I don't think a 14-year-old kid can have a skyscraper and make golf bands everywhere and have business relationship and make a TV program apparatus. I mean, it needs a certain kind of, personality you have to perform, to live in New York. It's not easy to be a cab driver in New York City. So all these people like Ermias Legessa, this trash ass who used to work for Barakat Simon, he talk about Donald Trump and people fall for it. Silly people. There is no silly people than Ethiopian people abroad. No people than trash than these people. Because they hurt us. And they say sorry. First, they control the media. They think they are the ones who talk nice, who are diplomat, who are blah, blah. And then, without remorse, without saying sorry to themselves, they come out and say, oh, sorry to themselves. Because they learned from the prime minister to say sorry to themselves. Imagine people can say, okay, we forgive you. Imagine someone, he come out and say, I forgive my sins and I'm going to start all over again. Such kind of joke, And I told them, these Democrat kind of people, first of all, it's not your country. Once you make it your country, live your life. Live your life. You think you don't know shit. If Donald Trump messed the fucking country you live in, if that's what you think America works, I don't think that's what America is. They make a very popular show in despising this man. That's why the first thing in America never happened in America, not because this guy is uniquely despicable. It's not true. It's not true. American people are these kind of people, media sensitive kind of people. Even the indigenous Americans, including the character of Black Americans, is made by white people. They are more emotional people, noisy people who don't live their life, but they live media kind of people. And one is sudden, if somebody come out and say, he have an IQ of 14 years old. I don't see a 14 years old who owns a skyscraper in America. It's just nonsense, You have to make him some kind of Hollywood dog to make that amount of money. It's not true. It's not true. Some people have some kind of, Donald Trump have some kind of thing. He even knew how to corrupt business. It needs a mind to corrupt business. It needs mind and toughness to mistreat people. to make a building for you with cheap price and trash people like that. You need some kind of mind. It's not true. A trash ass Ermias Legas, a kind of guy who is a condom, a fucking used condom for Barakat Simoon. Where the TPLF was on power, he talk about this guy, blah, blah, about Donald Trump. And people love for it. Yeah, Donald Trump, fuck you. Everybody is tweeting, blah, blah, blah. And they say we have to elect the Democratic Party. And they know what is coming. All the way they know what's coming. All the way they know what's coming. Me, I know what's coming. It's enough. It's over. Finished. The business is finished. The business is finished for Ethiopia. It's over. Because I know these democratic people, the only jackpot they got is what Ethiopia is after the Cold War. That is a jackpot in East African politics. That is the biggest jackpot they ever had. Because all of them have some kind of scam shit they do in one way or another in some corner of the world. And American people should be aware of it. Maybe because they are powerful and they have money and they don't need any motherfucker to do their dirty job. They may devise some kind of thing rather than relying upon this criminal gang they call White House. To me, it's just advice. In my understanding of the world, that's the advice I give. If there are powerful kind of people who can influence, I want them to see what these fuckers are. I want American people to be told, leave alone Hiroshima and Nagasaki, to retaliate, to hunt for the Nazis, to liberate Western Europe was a crime. The Nuremberg trial was a crime, actually, on humanity. Because that's what they're telling us. Because they know exactly what TPLF did. They know what one political party that the country, not only the political elite, not the friction within them. We are not standing on Abiy's side, but we are telling you about people, what people have done. What was the broadcasting of international medias concerning Ethiopian situation? How the entire world want to get rid of TPLF is a fresh memory to me because it's not 100 years ago. It's not Second World War. Ask Al Jazeera. Ask the people who are in prison now, supporting, they used the Tigray card, Tigrayan people victimhood kind of card to be in power because they already have a beef with Abiy Ahmed kind of person. So Ethiopian people are out of calculation. It's all about this kind of political understanding, ethnocentric kind of divide and rule kind of, system that America wants to be intact in Ethiopia, to strangle Ethiopian people, so that Ethiopian people never been free. And people, they don't understand that they come, America, Joe Biden come for two things: to rescue Abiy Ahmed and his reputation in these 3 years, and to rescue TPLF, who slaughter, who demean the entire Ethiopian population for 27 years. Because these are the only two political actors. The rest of them are extreme form of these two who are forming under. And all Ethiopian medias are broadcasting people who are in prison. But the people who are in prison are criminals. Criminals in the country. Jawar Mohammed is a criminal. There are even criminals who slaughter people whenever they want to because they have these weaponed people in the jungle sitting in the capital city ordering genocide on some kind of people, especially Amhara. So America wants all dirty actors to form some kind of to reconcile that in the future is a wrong calculation, like all these kind of groups gonna come together, which they already tried in 3 years, and it ended up in biting and assassination, even dragging civilians. But America don't want to touch that part. America want to talk only about Tigray because it's some kind of lobbied story, Van Button story. But me, I tell Ethiopians, don't understand about lobbying in Van Button. because I know it is America who does it. Whether it's lobbied or Van Buten, no, it's not about Van Buten and Van Baten. It's about what America wants. If I was Abiy Ahmed, I tell you, I'm in the Western Hemisphere, but I have to tell you, if I was Abiy Ahmed, which I'm not, because I want to get rid of this bastard, because he himself is a criminal, I would ally with anything to the point that the entire country get destroyed, that America will be despised for what it's doing now. Me myself, I take a hit if I'm administering the country. I will do anything that America don't fucking have anything till one man stand like Mengistu Haile Mariam. I will choose that. I'll choose that. Then these people have to come to reconcile and govern those people. I mean, this, I don't wish it for any human being. I wish life don't exist to me than to be governed by the same kind of this political group, again, to negotiate and to come in parliament for Ethiopian people, not for them. For Ethiopian people, it's like this is the worst thing any country can advise and propose. If you have muscle, if you are the America that we hear people talk about, you are so powerful, you have to take these people and put them in court. Not only put travel ban on them, and that start primarily by TPLF senior members. All TPLF members, before they form new people, you give them enough time to recruit people, to create this antagonistic kind of friction with ethnic kind of groups. You know, you give them enough time to destroy the country. So in this kind of narrative, I see America as enemy of not political elites of Abiy or this guy or that guy, like this Ethiopian kind of media people understand. No, you are the enemy of the people of Ethiopia. Because Ethiopian people don't want to see Abiy Ahmed, if you want to know. They don't want to see his fucking face and his fancy way. TPLF, they don't even want to have a smell of what TPLF is, leave alone. At least this guy, he play funny for them. But let me tell you what, in general, Ethiopian people see TPLF. If Joe Biden come with his all military, with his naval fleet, and pepper bomb the entire mountains, the highlands of Ethiopia, I don't think this shit is gonna work this time. I don't think it works. I don't think it works like the Cold War, you whip pentagram people and they slaughter Amhara people, they come in power. I don't think so. And even you do it in a slicky way, you know, like they used to do, pumping money for some kind of people to represent a certain kind of regional state and silent people and enslave them again, I think it's gonna get rough. It's gonna be rough ride. So, whether tell us the Nuremberg trial is a real trial and killing the Nazi soldiers is not a crime, or these two things you have. Whether the Nuremberg trial is right or it's wrong. It cannot be anything else. So what is done in TPLF and Tigrayan people predominantly, they are not only, the most of them, they are not only, in my understanding, sympathizers, but it is their party. If you think they have the right to have a criminal party that hurts the entire nation, then you have to tell me there is some kind of ethnic group that we think they are full human beings, we consider human beings and they should be protected, like indigenous, you know, what we call this endemic animals, and the rest are disposable kind of creatures. Because this Tedros Agay kind of arrogance, I say this for Ethiopian people, is like he think Ethiopia is Tigrayans. Even people They let him talk in their fucking show like this 360 Haptamu kind of retard. Like, is Ethiopia a 110 million kind of people country, or is this a 5 million Tigran kind of people country? You can, you know, as ethnic group, it don't matter if you are Oromo or Amhara, you cannot form a political group and put him in power and kill all people, you know, and destroy them. And because you are from a certain ethnic group, when there is some kind of atrocity to that specific ethnic group, it don't mean that's the only atrocity should be told. It's not normal. It's not normal. You know, it's not normal. People cannot live with this kind of unfairness. It's not normal. If you rage a war, and if you keep some kind of people hostages for the war you rage, because you say this is a political party and I represent these people, and if the people say, yeah, this is our party, like in Mekelle, they show us 3 days ago, they have a 3-day prayer kind of protest that shows all these we are politically correct kind of retards who have media, like Zahabesha, all these people who make propaganda is about TPLF and Tigran people, when we know majority, almost 90% of the Tigrans are like TPLF, and they think like, oh, if you say so, then TPLF will have an upper hand negotiation, because yeah, it's legal to represent. If the people say this is a political party represent us, then they win politically. That's how short-sighted they are. No, this is a country. And then you have to ask people, Ethiopia is not only Tigrans. Tigrans are minorities in Ethiopia. They cannot decide on the face of Ethiopia. You know? Bullying when they think they are powerful. Crying and dragging America when they are defeated. It's not like that. The Germans, when the Allied forces defeat them, no kind of international kind of institution come and say, yeah, the Germans are defeated. No, stop. There is atrocity. Germans are getting killed. I mean, this is nonsense. It's not a revenge. When you fuck people, you get fucked back. It's normal. It's normal. Especially when you take time, when you have 27 years to create atrocities and create geopolitical shift and shit for your geopolitical plan. You have enough time to create atrocity on other people. And we should forget all that, and we should only think about what is happening in these 6 months. Especially a very extremely exaggerated thing that suppress other atrocities in other part of Ethiopia. This is not normal. Atrocity is atrocity. Nobody talk about how many Amara people are killed in Oromia region, in Walaga, in Ataye, in Amara region, in the border between Oromia and Amara region. Nobody talk about that. But that is the dire situation, because nobody talk on behalf of this, including the President of America don't know about that. He said the Tigran situation, dire situation, Tigrans are hungry. Tigrans are hungry when Susan Rice was leading the country with her boyfriend Meles Zenawi, with her side boyfriend, if you will. I think he was his side chick, or she is his side friend. He was for her. I don't know. There were 7 million Somalis starved, and Tigran people were in food stamps then also. When you were telling the world that the economy was 11%. That's why we tell you economic indications are just numbers. It's just bullshit. You can say nominal GDP, gross domestic product, blah, blah, the economy 11%. You put coffee on, this market. Dr. Eleni was talking, blah, blah. But you see, when people knock the door, then everything become open. 3 months, not really even a heavy battle. Not really that a battle like the Second World War, devastating battle. No, Mekelle is just smiling. There is no a single building fall in Mekelle. There is a top view. There is a photo of what Mekelle is. When these people make propaganda, they say heavy weapons are pounding the land. Mekelle is just clean. You know, it is clean. They were despising, they were making 3 months hard propaganda, telling the world as if there is no Tigray. Tigray is destroyed kind of story. No. They were just making propaganda to cover the atrocity they make in 27 years. Imagine what 27 years can do to communities. When you have ill intention and you ethnic divide the country and you lose $30 billion. That $30 billion is talking in America, not the president. Because the American president is a lobby. There is Clinton Foundation, there is that foundation, there is this foundation. But Ethiopian people were reluctant to believe because then America was supporting their cause, the Assad televisions, the Zahabeshas. And then because they were making money in foreign lands, talking shit to Ethiopian people, dumbing down Ethiopian society. But I started to tell them about the West and how the world order is then. I never changing the way how I see the world because it's not propaganda I'm making. I'm confronting what I should confront. I'm telling my story to those kind of people with my broken English. And I feel fine. Because I don't do it for any kind of cause or because I take side. It's because not normal to say the Nuremberg trial is a crime of America. Because America, a lot of people believe that America saved a lot of countries that they call now allies. In Holland, they call it the wederopbouw. Like America created a system for Holland to revive again, to look like a country again, and to make this what it's Holland now kind of thing. Every country have Belgium, everything. France, the Normandy war, the war in Normandy. So for every German you shoot and you kill, actually you are a criminal. America is criminal. For every German you shoot. That's why you're telling us about the collision between Ethiopian military and the TPLF supporters. So if they happen to be Tigrayans, they shouldn't cry. They should cry when they were boasting, when they're bullying people, when they were firing missiles, when they tell us with their own words, we attack the Northern Command like lightning, boasting on people how fast and effective they are. Imagine how you demoralize a nation by telling the nation, reconcile with this kind of people. Otherwise, we will destroy the entire place. No, if I was America, I take all these rotten old political groups and the things that are created to destroy Ethiopia, to take them out. But I don't think that is the mission of America. The mission of America, I think, is there is a sinister political move that traces its roots, starting from Egypt all the way to the Nile Basin. It is a more complicated story that supports America. So if I were Ethiopian kind of people, not only China and Russia, not only that, I will try my best to be saved like Assad. If Ethiopia have a negotiation power, I will call Vladimir Putin and tell him, with the resources, with the gold and everything, Ethiopia is yours. Take over. Like he saved Assad, if Ethiopia had a negotiation power, that's what I do. That's what I do. And I don't want to see American kind of American kind of map in the world. I don't want to see, leave alone to come and leave. No, I don't give up. But don't get me wrong, I want Abiy Ahmed in the entire his thing to be taken out like TPLF. That's what I want. And including these ethnocentric evil people who make genocide and who are not accountable because Abiy is covering for them. My number one enemies. Them, I want them by life. That's what I want. But that's not what's going to happen. I'm just a wishful thinking. Leave alone America. I don't want to see the map. I don't care. I don't mean that I want it to get wiped out. No, I'm not something like that. I don't want to see the map even. I don't want to see the map. I don't care. Leave alone coming to live in America. Big houses, nice life. I know, right? You know, that's if I were them, that's what I do. Literally, like Assad give the key to Vladimir Putin and tell him administer it and kill all the sons of bitches. That's what I do to Ethiopia. I tell them, Russians, the country called Ethiopia is yours. Take the key, and I will say. And I want them to bring the most nasty shit they have. The most nasty shit they have. And to take everything. That's what I do. If you don't treat us like human beings, and if we don't have power to face you, the only thing we can do is just make food in the country and try to survive, and so that people don't get starved. You know, suppress all these weapon groups in the country so that transport will be easy from Tigray to Moyale, from north to south, for people not to have food. But the military security, I give it to some kind of power that can fight you. That's the only thing I could have done if I were Ethiopian people, including this devil. I want the world to get rid of him, actually, this Abiy Ahmed kind of punk. But if I were him, I'll do that. I'd rather see my country get destroyed, if this thing can destroy it, it may not, than the old thing in my own eyes. Before my trauma heals, the same thing that caused me trauma to destroy the country, to see this, I don't want to watch TV no more. This is what is Joe Biden to me. And I tell these people, when they tell us, you are a stupid, jealous guy, a doctor in your country become the director general of who? I tell them, do you know why he want to be who? Because I know he's going to be this. They don't know this coming, but I know he's going to be this. They tell me, you don't know nothing, you are jealous. There is these truck drivers in Canada, in America, like they think they are genius, sitting in a truck, showing their little children, hey baby, say hello, say I love you. Sitting in my house, telling my story, advising people who don't listen, assholes, scumbags. And I never come on things just primarily to say I told you so. No. Not to say I told you so. I remember some punk on Habasha, he said, I told you so. I told you so. Imagine you say a thing 3 years ago, and some punk come out and say something in 5 months ago or 4 months ago. Accidentally he says something. Because when they come up in a talk show, it's like a mind abortion. It's like, somebody will ask him something, he try to answer something that people find reasonable kind of thing. That's their political analysis. When everything for them. They want to be politically correct when they analyze politics. When you analyze politics, the politics is reality. Then nobody expects you to be politically correct. Because you are not a politician, you are a political analyst. But in Ethiopia, look, all the medias in Ethiopia on TV, they think it's their responsibility to be politically correct. But to be politically correct or to be a diplomat it is a necessary measure. It may be necessary for some politician for some time. It don't mean that you always have to be politically correct or not correct. Imagine people, journalists, idiot people who think they are intelligent, come out trying to be politically correct and create a fucking weird narrative that confuse people. That's why people always are confused in Ethiopia and how things are. Oh, these guys like this, because they always tell them a lie and they make money. They broadcast 2-3 times a day talking shit just purely for money, for YouTube money. This is what you got. There is nothing that I didn't tell them that didn't happen. Because I'm not telling you this thing happened. No, everything. It's like as if I say something today, tomorrow the entire world, including not only Ethiopian politics, the entire world respond to some fucking shit. You know? What can I do? I tell you the reality, because if you tell reality the world, you tell them a reality, that will happen. That will happen. When I tell you now, I'm telling you what Joe Biden proposed. If that shit is done in Ethiopia, Ethiopia will be destroyed. They will never have future. Forget a country called Ethiopia. If what Joe Biden proposed is not to take these people out by imposing sanctions, but the thing that he say, if they don't hunt these political groups to be taken out, if that's not his measure, you know, whether it's economic sanction or travel ban or whatever, if it don't relentlessly follow these people and make them dysfunctional in Ethiopian political arena, forget about it. But what he's saying in reverse is reconcile. People who created genocide and killing and mass killing and atrocities within 30 years, come. You know, it's like a measure of a weak country, not a powerful country like America. Like a weak country telling criminals to just negotiate so that people will be left alone, kind of. This proposition is for a weak woman. When strong paranoid men acting weird, acting paranoid in her house, a weak woman who cannot fight them, she tell them, please calm down. So America is not a powerful country. America is a big bitch. That's why I tell you, it's a big bitch. A big criminal organized bitch. If you see America as an individual character, then America is not the powerful country you tell us. No, you want some fucking criminals to come to terms instead of punishing them like you punish the Nazis for what they have done. No, instead, you telling us the Nazis were done wrong because you consider what these forces do back to the Germans is a revenge, not a just. This is how you define the doing of the PLF and their Tigray sympathizers. That's what you're telling us. No, you don't want Ethiopia to get closer to Eritrea because you want this kind of Eritrean territory by this kind of count of numbers of people. You don't want this kind of relation. You want always a buffer zone for war. In Tigray, in American and Western politics, they want Tigray and they love their dedication. And they show them for the second time because they are promised, they show them their dedication of destruction. They want them not because they think about for Tigray people, but they want this to be a buffer zone to take Ethiopia away from this kind of area, away from Arab interest. Take Ethiopia out from Arab League kind of interest because they are supportive of Egypt, supportive of Gulf states, supportive of their multinationals. They don't want this. That is their interest. All these so-called Ethiopian intellectual jerk-off, he come and tell you America is this, America is this. Why would I play against America if I don't know what I know? Why would it interest me? It is beautiful when you see America this, America that. People love you because you are in the Western Hemisphere. Why I say this? Because it's the truth. I don't care how much they hate me. I don't care. I don't care if you ridicule me. You ridicule yourself and you destroy who you are. Because you're tried. Every time it's sorry. For you, it's sorry, we are wrong. To imagine when you say I'm intellectual in America, you must have read a lot of books. You must have at least a basic knowledge of how Democratic Party to becomes what it is in America. You have to have some understanding. Not when you see some Elan Homar or some funny girl or some funny boy show up from this congressman. No. Just read, understand who they are. Understand who they are, not what they wrote they are. Who they are. Understand them, their reputation. See, look at them. Before they come, you should know. I don't think America election will have that significant difference because million Ethiopians among 360 million Americans choose the Republican Democrat. Things really that much. You may have effect to choose a congressman in some kind of village, and the congressman come and tell you what you call this. For every fucking city they got there, he may need you or you kind of thing. But not in the White House for the bigger election for every 4 years. 2 million Ethiopians cannot really make such a big difference. No, they know that. But they just want to see as a propaganda, yeah, we can influence. If you influence, this wouldn't happen. No. What you should say then, if you're American, whatever I do, really the big politics don't really directly affect me. I shut the fuck up. That's what you should say as Ethiopians. But rather, you are ridiculing other people who know better than you. I don't live in America, but I know this motherfucker what he is. I know this motherfucker. I know what Joe Biden is going to be. He is what it is. Now he is the president of Ethiopia, literally. Now there is the 55th state. The 50 cities in America, 50 countries, states you got. The 51st state is now Ethiopia because it is Joe Biden who's the president of the country. He tell you, you guys go there, you go there, you go there. And all you old criminals come together and talk. It's called a weak bitch. A weak bitch in a whorehouse. Imagine there are pimps and these porno stars in a fucking small weak ass whorehouse, and there is old woman, maybe old pimp kind of woman. She can't do nothing. Big guys, muscle guys fighting. She tell them, okay, fuck whatever you want to fuck, but please, you be peaceful. It is a powerful country. If this is a powerful country, and if I were administering my country, leave alone having an opportunity to be alive for something, if not give me the financial thing or whatever China or Russia might be, I give him the key. I give him the key. Look, this territory is yours. Imagine this is yours. It don't matter there is 30 years, 40 years. What happened to Cuban people? Nothing happened to Cuban people. Cuba, imagine, is in the nose of America. They even put Russian missile in there. Ethiopia is not that influential. Not scary, not influential, but not scary for America. What happened? They're still driving this old kind of American car, economical problem, people eating the same food, everything. We know what Cuba is. But they have their music, they have their love. Someday, when it opens, it will be the same as some kind of Dominican Republic. No big deal. They tell you economy. This is not what I believe. This is what these people who live in there, these showy people, phony people, they explain of it all, of economy, blah, blah. The country is always in debt. Powerful countries, they say, okay, we don't give a fuck about the debt, like Russia. They give you tank, okay, you don't pay the tank, okay, it's burned, okay, forget about it kind of stuff. You never give nothing anyway. Your prime minister come out without a shame telling you I'm the best beggar. Oh, IMF, International Monetary Fund, World Bank is a mama house. When you have people who just vomit in their mouth, representing a country, despicable kind of idiot people, who just don't be silenced. Some things you don't tell. No matter what it is, you just be silenced. Be respectful for yourself, because you have to respect other people. And then I'll respect you when you shut up. Haile Selassie knows he represents a pro country, but he never vomit with his mouth. And you have today children of prostitutes and despicable families telling this guy fascist, these idiot people who were born yesterday, vomiting in their mouth, whose father is a pimp, whose mother is a prostitute. Cheap people who die on the ocean because they are cheap, they are. We hear them insulting big people. But they did all the respect, the dignity. You don't know what dignity is. You don't know what is dignity. You are poor. All countries were poor. Switzerland was poor. Switzerland, before the banking system, before Second World War, a Swiss guy tell me, for the military, they didn't have a tent. So Israel give a tent for them because there's a master mission, a military mission. Till now, like Israel in Switzerland, the young people have a military mission. You know, I interview people. It's not about a nation, poor, rich. No, dignity comes first. The money, negotiation, always change. You see, Sudan, 30 years, America was enemy. You know, even the people, if you are Sudanese, leave alone political elite. If you are Sudanese, you don't get in America. But now, America, big bitch. A big bitch always change her character because she's a bitch. When you see a big bitch, you don't have to respect a big bitch. When you have dignified country, you respect it. Because nobody fuck with America. They tell them, you are a criminal. I want you to come to Den Haag. I'll fuck you up. Leave alone coming to America. This is a powerful country. You know? But if a weak big bitch, you know, treating criminals who are misusing, you know, the situation, then you're not weak. So what I do, I give Russia a key. Anything if they are even if they destroy the place with war, because I don't want proxy war and poking, because that destroy communities for long. No, like Assad. Look, all the fucking crime, 50 million people, everything is destroyed. Now they are in election. Israel, you see Assad in their nose. They see Assad in their nose. The Sunnis, they are seeing Assad with their bloody eyes. They are watching Assad. What you gonna do? In this country, before you get respected, you have to show tough skin. Otherwise, American hate you because American choose tough skin. Western people don't like weak people. They see you, they poke you. When they think you have hard skin, that's when they come on the table to negotiate with you. But first you have to show it. That's why they choose TPLF. And TPLF, no, famous musician, a rich guy from Addis Ababa, living all the pimping business. They go to Tigray because they know they are promised. You see, I myself admire them. How do they do that? You see, they are promised. Now, it's like a Tigray dude who have a white mask in a White House. He want to save them. The whole world want to save them. You know, they're holding their dick like Grakolot, you know. They're praying. They're going to be on power. They negotiate. By this, what's going to happen? Ethiopian people demoralized for everything. That they're going to see Tigray and this kind of people are not getting tampered with. Ethnic federalism is the order. People looking at each other, enemies. People who have the upper hand, who are in the government, can kill people with impunity, and America will never say anything. You see? This is what America give a lesson. To oppress atrocities that's committed by ethnic federalism. You see? Because they want to save the devil. You see, it's not about Abiy. They want to save Abiy and the devil that created Abiy. They don't want anything new to form. You see? Because it was their order in the first place. It is their order in the Cold War. You see? They take time. Isaias Afwerki, I don't like his eyes. But they are waiting till they get old. Till they whack him out. You see? And in Eritrea, they will always bring someone after Isaias. They will try their hard from here to eternity for their multinationals and for Arab interests, Eritrea to be Arabic and more Arabic. Till the point it becomes a full-fledged Arab League. You see? Everything, when all the Arabs, including the Palestinians, including the Palestinians, you know, the people, the world is shouting about atrocities, kind of people are on the sea. Black people in East Africa, Ethiopians are pushed from the sea. That is it. That is the game. That is the game. Because Ethiopia is big around it. You see, it's big. Sudan is Arab League. Don't tamper with the coastline. At least till now. Still, but there is problem in the coastline to take also Sudan. There is a small coastline, but Sudan is Arab League, no problem. You see, it is Ethiopia their enemy. Who? West's enemy is Ethiopia. It is true. And I tell you before, when you sons of bitches, when TPLF, they want to take TPLF out, when you tell us amnesty this, amnesty that, blah, blah, that is not what it is. Me, if I was administering my country, I'll give Russia, do you have the most nasty bomb? And this time, I don't want to shoot the bomb. Like your operation in Assad, I give you the key, the country. Take all the gold and any ugly gala together with you and put it in hell. Take the key. And put a big flag that says, fuck America in the Red Sea. I'll give them. That's what I do. And I want Americans to listen to me and understand what I'm telling them. If they shape to shape, this is what I do. This is what I will do. I swear to God. If they don't take all these political elites from the country with anger, with really vengeance and anger to bring them to hell, no, they do the reverse. They want to revive them. They want to revive criminals because of lobby. This is the country that you admire. This is a country that you say, promised land, promised this, pursuit. You see, this is the happiness you pursue is through this kind of evil shit. I'd rather have a small living somewhere telling the truth than to be part of that kind of pursuit. That is the pursuit of happiness, not the pursuit of evil. Sons of bitches. Sons of bitches. Trying to revive political groups who are bleeding people to death. That's it. That's why Jawar Mohammed say in prison, for Tigray atrocity, because his number one agenda is Amara this, Amara that, Amara this, because they want to destroy this community. I don't know what they're going to get after the destroyed community. But America helping to the rescue of evil people to destroy one community, to make that community minority. That is their priority, because their measure is that. To me, how I understand, the shit is impossible to do. The shit is impossible to do. To destroy a community like Amhara I think it's not going to be easy. I think it's going to be difficult. But that's why they tell us. So, if I were the leader of Ethiopia, I will give anything to that country this time to administer the land. It is your land, because this is weak people. These are sons of bitches. Everything that represent them in the foreign land are cowards. I give them a key. Decide on their fate. But I want this fucking big monster, this big bitch, not to show up there. It takes 30 years, 40 years. We don't know what politics comes after then. After then, maybe the big bitch she come with high heel shoes, playing "Living in America" kind of dance. When she dance, that come, baby. Oh, baby, like Assad. Finito. Finito. Now I understand why people are cruel to each other. Because of these dirty monsters. That's what I do. That's what I do if I were you. That's what I do. Because I see the evil. I see evil. I see evil negotiating on people. I see people, when you win, you're weak. When you lose, you're weak. You see? When they win, you give them a government power. But when you win, they make you a criminal. You see? That's what Amhara people are facing. When you win, they tell you you're a criminal. You're evil people. When you lose, they give your enemy a key to govern a country so that they destroy your community. This is America. And the Nuremberg trial is a bitch trial that killed men. German men, real men. That's the America that I know. If this is America, I tell you, this is a Jewish country, my friend. They're fucking my brain up. I know that, but I say it anyway till they finish me. The Nuremberg trial is a bitch trial of global bitches getting together. That's what I'm going to tell. That's what I'm going to tell. That's what I'm going to tell even to the Russians. That's what I'm going to tell to Vladimir Putin. You know, if this is the global order, when people get bullied and when people win a battle, and instead of compensating for 30 years atrocity that it's done by them, you create a 3-month-old atrocity kind of exaggerated film, a CNN film, a Jewish cabal put a film to destroy the community that they destroyed for 30 years, training ethnocentric Oromos to attack Amhara. If this is America, America is the America I know in movies. What a big bitch. I rest my case. And all you bitches with Ethiopian background outside Ethiopia, you are a trash bitch. That is my video for today.